Hey, it's Barry here with Headwaters Lake, Fellsmere.com, bringing you another episode of Learning the Lake here at Headwaters Lake. So thanks for taking the time to watch this video. If you don't mind, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, hit the notifications. Really appreciate it. Kind of helps us out in building this channel out to be able to continue to bring you great information about this just incredible fishery. So we're going to go ahead and get started with that right now. Hey Barry, my buddy Dave here, as always, with our next episode of Learning the Lake, here with Headwaters Lake, Fellsmere.com. We're going to bring you the lake bit by bit. We're breaking it down section by section to show you a little bit about every part of the lake. We're going to talk about depth. We're going to talk about the vegetation. We're going to talk about where the fish tend to hold, all kinds of great information about this fantastic fishery here at Headwaters Lake in Fellsmere, Florida. So today we're going to talk about S Canal. Now you may have heard of S Canal and really go like, I don't know what that is, but I see a lot of chatter about it getting blocked up. So what does all that mean? Well, S Canal is the way that you're going to get out to the main fishing grounds of the lake. Most of the guys that are coming out here are taking this S Canal all the way down, then they're going off to the west, and then they're going south, and that's where the main fishing section is, where you're going to find the biggest bass, at least so far, back in that section. So what we wanted to cover today is just the S Canal, talk a little bit about some of the rules, some of the things that are going on with it, and then show you some of the places you can break through if it does get clogged up. We'll give you some reasons why it gets jammed up as well, and we'll show you that as we get on down further. But for starters, we're going to go ahead and just talk a little bit about speed. 25 miles an hour in this canal, as it is in most places out in the lake. Obviously, you want to be courteous to the other guys out here fishing. Some have bigger boats, some have smaller boats. So when you're going to pass a boat, just come on down off the throttle a little bit. Just be courteous to your fellow fishermen that are out here and fish for women. So with that, off to the left, you're going to see nice flat ground. You want to keep an eye on that when you're coming back in the evening time. A lot of times you're going to get some deer hanging around. That's going to give you some good photo opportunities if you're out here. It's really nice. Other than that, the canal's depth on there, I don't have the depth finder running all the way up, but it's plenty deep enough to go ahead and run pretty much any size boat. We're probably 15 feet at least in the canal here, if not deeper. There's no structure in here you're going to run into. There's no logs, stick-ups, anything you have to worry about as far as your motor goes. It's a clean run from here all the way down. The only thing you're going to run into trouble with, as we mentioned, is if the winds have shifted the vegetation from the east side over to the canal that we're in right now. You'll see that as we get on going. We're going to wind up cutting the film, where we're just going to speed it up, shoot on down, and then we're going to slow back down when we get to a couple points of interest that you're going to need to know about. So with that, we're going to go ahead and take off on down, and we'll see you here in just a second. Just as a point of interest, while we're passing it by, you're going to see off to the left or off to the east, this you're going to know is a bay area over there. That's going to be the next episode of Learning the Lake. We're going to talk about this bay area over here, and we're going to talk about the structure that's underneath there. We're going to talk about some good places to get some fish. There is a lot of bass over there, for sure. We've caught them, plenty of them. So if you're looking for a place just to get out with your kayak, you don't want to go too far, paddleboard, or just want a quick place to go, even if the canal's jammed up, you can still find fish in this bay area. So we'll go ahead and cover that in the next Learning the Lake episode. So with that, hey, carrying on. Okay, I went ahead and just cut the sound off just for a second. Coming up here on the left-hand side, you're going to notice an opening. This is where you can pop through if the canal is blocked up further to the south. It's also a good place to get out to the east side and get some good fishing in. So at this point, I'm going to go ahead and kick it over to a map view so that you can go ahead and see what things look like in a bigger bird's eye view. So we'll go ahead and go to that map view now. Okay, looking at things from a little bit different perspective, we're going to go ahead and use the satellite map. Now keep in mind, at the time of this map picture being taken, it was way back early. You can see here at the ramp that it is still under construction and not even close to being finished. So some of the points along the way here, looking at the map, aren't going to exactly look and be where they are today. But I'm going to go ahead and use the breakpoints like right here as a point of reference, because as you see it from the water view in the video, there is a break that goes out here into this section, and it's the only one up this direction now. So you're going to be able to use this again just as a point of reference. So the prevailing winds here on the east coast of Florida typically come out of the north, the northeast, east, southeast, and from the south. Okay, that's the main direction we get winds from, and most of the time it's more northeast, east, and southeast. So really the east is the dominant, and it tends to push the vegetation across this body of water here into openings along the way. Again, it may be different now than what you're seeing on this map, but there's different areas where this vegetation pushes through, pushes in, and then drifts up in the canal this way, down different directions. Okay, so if you find yourself in a situation where it's blocked before you can get to this point, which goes out into the Fellsmere Reservoir, then you're going to have to turn around. So if you come past this point here that we're at right now, shooting down, all of a sudden you run into a blockage, you're going to have to turn around, come back up, come out, and then work your way down around. Just be careful. There's really thick vegetation. Just take your time, pay attention to what's going on, and work yourself down till you can find a point to get back into the main canal and go from there. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and take us back to the water, and we'll pick this up down as we get further on. So back to the water. Okay, we jumped ahead a little bit. Keep this video as short as possible to show you a little bit more of the S Canal here, as we're going to be coming up on the cut through that goes into the Fellsmere Reservoir on the right hand side. But as you can see over on the left, this is why this canal gets jammed up sometimes. There's openings all through here, and the prevailing winds here coming from the north, the northeast, the southeast, those are kind of the winds that push the vegetation in over here and can get you jammed up. So with that, hey, we're going to flip over here to the map view though of the opening to the reservoir. So let's go ahead and do that now. Okay, back to the map for a bird's eye view. Right now we are right here, and as you're running down the canal, you'll know this break because there's a sign on each side, and this is the break that goes into the Fellsmere Reservoir that you're able to take. I'm going to keep you zooming out here. You're able to pick it up from here and run on down to this east-west canal, which we'll talk about in future videos. But for right now, just know that this is where you're at, and if you can get to here without any blockages and pop through in here, then you are home free as far as running down to the very southwest corner of this whole really fantastic fishery. Right here is your main cut through into the Fellsmere Reservoir, and then going off to the south and west is the direction you're going to want to go to get back to the main fishing ground. So this is the main area people will jump out to, especially if the canal is blocked up, because this is another big blockage area right here. So if you can go out this way, cut across, you're good to go. That's another area to fish out there, but again, most people fish off into the reservoir side. But don't overlook it. If you just want a new challenge, you've got a lot of water out there to go ahead and take on. So moving on down, we'll just keep on going to the end of this canal, provided it's, yeah, should be open. And we'll show you where the canals join together, the east-west canal and the north-south canal. Okay, coming up here on the right-hand side, this is where you're going to go ahead and make a right-hand turn. You're going to head west a little bit further up here. And by going west, this is going to be the canal that runs over to runs, it continues on going south, but it's going to take you down into Egan Lake and that whole area. So this canal straight ahead here, continuing on down, is the way to get to Egan Lake and the better fishing ground. We're going to make that right-hand turn right here and head on down. So we're going to cover this in another episode of Learning the Lake, but for now we're going to spin back around and get back to the S Canal. Okay, we pretty much reached the, not the end of the canal, but we're going to go ahead and stop here. And where we are right now is this area here. And this is the intersection between the north-south S Canal and the east-west canal that runs over and gets you eventually down to where most people are going fishing. So we're going to go ahead and hold it up here. However, since we're looking at this map, this whole area is very good to fish all the way down into this pocket here and anywhere around this area in here. Again, I mentioned this before, there's not really a bad place in this lake to fish because there's fish everywhere. We found a lot down in this area back in between some of these sawgrass runs, some of the different cover, catching them on lots of different types of lures. So, you know, don't sweat it if, you know, you're thinking, well, you know, it's a long run all the way back here. Everybody's catching fish back here. There's fish everywhere in here. You can get them in here. You can get them up around here. You can get them in the canals. You can get them. There's fish everywhere. So with that being said, hey, I'm just going to give you some fun footage we took on the way back to go ahead and wrap up this video. Thanks for watching. If you don't mind, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell notification, follow along with us as we continue to bring you more videos on Learning the Lake here at Headwaters Lake in Fellsmere, Florida. Thanks for watching. Good fishing.